If you haven't watched my last video, go check it out because we talked about cheers, Bcoq sinew, cock sinew, and bonk. So guys, in this video, it's going to be a part 2 of the last one. It's more or less going to be like an update to tell you all that. Have you gone in here? You would have been up. Some point during today, you would have been up at around about 42 to 37% move to the upside. Because in my last video, we did say that if we break up from this level, which I'm going to highlight for you right now, if we do retest and bounce off from this level here, in fact, let me just get rid of this and bring out let's bring out instead the brush, expand the charts, and I did say if we do break out, or at least bounce from around about here, because if you look to our left, it looks as though that we had in fact came back to retest the zone for a possible move to the upside. And had you gone in there for a trade, or even just for adding more of your bags on cheese token, you could have easily been up from here to there, around about 46% move to the upside. Of course, nothing goes up forever, it doesn't come back, because as we can see, this long move to the downside, once we do see a pump, higher than the last few levels over here, chances are we are going to come back to retest this area for a bigger move to the upside. It goes coincide to what I said to you all in my last video. We just need to see a pump to the upside to give me the confidence that we should be able to start heading away back up to the top. That of course all depends on what Bitcoin does, because ultimately Bitcoin, when it goes down by 2, 3, 4, 5%, then you're looking at all coins, especially meme coins, go down by 8, 10, 12, maybe even 16 to 20% to the downside. So that's what we're seeing right now. We're seeing a pullback right over here, but this gives me confidence that we are going to go back up anytime soon, of course, because one, we see this red candles going all the way back down over here to come back to retest in this zone over here. Then it looks like once we see an engulfing or next green candle, a confirmation for us to be able to go into a trade so we can bounce our way out of it and move up higher from here, beating this high and go up much higher. How much higher do we expect to go? Well guys, that's quite simple. After we made this long move to the downside, the chances are we should be targeting the next level to be anywhere around about here to there. That's exactly what we mentioned in the last video. And if this was to happen, then yes, we could be in a pretty decent move to the upside of around about 74%, close to 80% move to the upside. So that means you can still make your intraday trading on the Cheers token whilst you are hodling. This could also be a very nice strategy because whilst you're holding your bags of Cheers token, as you're trading the token, and you're winning your 10% of that trade, 40%, in this case maybe even 70% of the trade, you can reinvest that back into Cheers token, especially if you are hodling for that massive juicy gains. And that's what some retail investors do, especially if you are married to a project. Myself, I like to spread all of my portfolio into various coins, but that's something which I had done in the past that made me like crazy gains. But yes guys, this is not a financial advice, this is just something which I would like to share with you all. And maybe in the next video, if you all like to find out how you can at least do the simplest way of trading altcoins, especially meme coins, let me know that in the comments. Just drop down anything on a comment to say that yes, you'd like to see that, and then maybe I'll do a video on that. That's if you all are interested. Now let's move on. Okay, so right now I'll be looking for an entry for Cheers token. So that means it could be an entry now, quite possibly, but I still want to see a confirmation by seeing at least a green candle forming. If it doesn't form like over the next couple of hours, then quite possibly we could see maybe a bit more further downwards movements, at least retest of around about here. In fact, why don't I just resize this a little bit? If we could come back to retest this zone right over here, and let me change this color as well. If we come back to retest this area over here, that will be a buying opportunity for myself, because I truly believe that once we head down into the zone right there, then I should be expecting to add a long position for a retest of this area, which means that should give us a confirmation or at least a retest of a move back up to this last high. And depending how the chart reacts to the move back up here, if we do blast away up, I should be expecting holding trade up to here, of course, which then should give me a pretty decent percentage in gains from that move. I should be expecting roughly around about 85% move to the upside. That's if we come back to retesting the zone over here. So either I would enter exactly when we touch in the zone over here, or if I'm patient enough, I'll keep waiting for a confirmation. What's my confirmation? Is to wait for that green candle and then enter on the next candle on a move to the upside. Nothing is guaranteed when you trade. It's all nothing but probability, and chances are you will lose your funds, of course. But trade carefully, watch some of my video contents, just to give you some guidance. Try a few things out for yourself and see what works. And remember, so they're 50-50, but as soon as you can learn how to read the charts and wait for confirmation, you could increase your probability to much higher win versus losses. So anyway, this is how I'm planning to trade the Cheers token. So let's move on to the next one. Bcoq's Inu had made a pretty decent move today, actually. Exactly like I said in our last video. We saw this bottom over here forming, and then we see this second bottom there, which is counted as, or regarded as, a double bottom. Double bottom is a confirmation that we are going to reverse and move into the opposite direction. So in this case, we made 1, 2 there, and if you look at the red candles, it starts shrinking, becoming smaller as the price was going down. However, we were also forming this rounding bottom, which gave me the confidence that this could be a good trade to get in. Obviously, I didn't get into this trade because I'm still hodling for this token, but sharing this information with you guys so you can see exactly how I see the chart. And yes, we've in fact done some pretty decent move here. Just gonna expand the chart a little bit. Yes guys, so that's definitely a confirmation of a double bottom. Here's the first one. We came back down, retested the zone, and then we bounced our way out of it. Unlike Cheers token, it looks like we are still pumping to the upside. In fact, it looks like we should be targeting here as our next level of resistance. And depending how we react in this zone over here, if we see like a red candle forming, that could be a possible move back down to around about here, maybe 50% move of below this level here, maybe retesting this area there before we continue to move to the upside. But it all depends on how we genuinely react around this area before I'll be considering whether it's worth trading this on a continuation to the upside, or should I just wait for that pullback before possibly looking for an entry. So in terms of percentage, had you gone in anywhere around about here, you would have been up, or you might still be up, of around about 44% move to the upside. That is still quite impressive, guys. Nothing is certain, but as long as you follow your own trading strategy and your plans, you can still make the small wins until we complete break structure of Bcoq's in order for all of us to remain bullish, so we can move much higher highs. But at the minute, we're still in a danger zone, implying that if we don't completely break out from this zone over here, to retest at least back up to this high and break above this area. Let me just pull out a long rectangular box like this. If we don't break up above the zone anytime soon, we could still be in danger of quite possibly either ranging here before we eventually choose a direction, and if we go much further to the downside, well, at least for now, it would just imply that we're not going to go any much higher anytime soon, and it would take longer for us to get back much higher highs. However, if we do continue to make that move to the upside, breaking above the last resistance level up here, flipping it into a support or something like this, when we do that, pull back, hopefully. So only just probability, guys. And if you do come back to retest it and then do something like this, and then hopefully I want to see that break of structure, which means breaking above this level over here, then that will put me on the bullish mindset that we are slowly staircasing our way at least anywhere close to the top. So this would be the most healthiest case scenario, and that would be a bullish case scenario, in fact, if we do something like this. If we don't, then we should be expecting something the opposite, which should be something along a line like this, where we come back down. Actually, let me zoom in so you can see what's going on the chart. Expand the channel, that's it. So let's say, for instance, if in the worst case scenario, we do something like this, we come back down to retest over here, followed by, let's grab this again, followed by breaking this structure to the downside, then we could be expecting a lot more lower lows will be coming in. But until I see a confirmation that we break out from this resistance level over here, because that's the original move that creates that whole, crashing down to the downside, but we did come back up, retest this area here, forming a double bottom before coming back up to retest this level up here. So this is really important and key area over here. So we just need to break that to get our way pumping to the upside. If that doesn't happen, we might see a consolidation going sideways for a little while before ultimately choosing direction. But so far, I just want to see what happens here, whether we do break above it, and if we do, then guys, that could be another potential entry. But if you're a hodler, you just want to be stacking up every time we pull back, like here for instance, because now you would have been up by more than 44% to the upside. So that concludes Bcoq's Inu. We just need to be just adding more to our bags. But if you are also trading the Bcoq Inu whilst you are hodling the coin, just make sure you keep an eye on this level here, because that's quite crucial as an intraday trader, because you don't want to be stopped out, and lose, bags loaded worth of your investments. Otherwise, you could have just reinvested, added more bags of Bcoq Inu. If not, you just want to have at least a trading portfolio as well as hodling. Then I'll just wait until how we react to this zone before we ultimately go in for a trade. If you want to go for a trade after this, let me just clear all the lines. Then you should be expecting to enter a trade only until we do break above this level over here, or a retest back down here, in order for you to look for a possible trade move to the upside. So that concludes Bcoq Inu. Now why don't we head over to Coq Inu. So for the Coq Inu, it looks like almost exactly what I said in the last video. I did say that we are currently ranging in this zone over here. We just zoom in more into the charts. Okay guys, so it does look like that currently we are still heading our way down to retest in this zone over here. We're in between this ranging zone over here. However, we are coming back down to retest in this particular area here. From the moment we've broken up from this level over here, that became a support. We went up, kind of went sideways for a little while. We came crashing down to retest the support level. So that means this could be a good area for re-entry because it acts as support 1, 2, and about to become support 3. We did break up a higher high than the previous moves over here, so chances are we should be expecting a move to the upside. However, we just need to wait and to see a confirmation of a green candle somewhere around about here before I'll be looking for an entry to move to the upside. If this trade does play out, you could be expecting a return of around about 58-59% move to the upside. Great thing about Cox Inu, you can actually leverage Cox Inu, so that means if you did just a small 2x from down here, that will give you 2 times 59. That'd be roughly around about, what's that, 118% move to the upside, so that's not too bad, not too shabby at all, guys. That's the power of leverage. Most importantly, careful when you leverage trade because you can quite easily blow your account. That's why I try to put a stop loss underneath by at least several percent, because you might get wicked at least a little bit further down below the support line. So you want to give the chart a bit of a room to move before ultimately picking a direction, hopefully in a direction moving to the upside. So that's why I would always try to wait. If I am patient enough, I would always try to wait until I see like an engulfing red candle, green candle coming in, something like this. Let me just grab this one for instance. If I can see like an engulfing green candle forming like anywhere around here, anything slightly bigger than this red candle there, straight after this one I'll be looking for an entry. Or even as we're forming a green candle like that, maybe in the last few minutes of the closeout of this particular candle, I'll be looking to enter for a move to the upside of around about 59%. So that's how I will be trading Cox Inu. So guys, this concludes the intraday trading for Cox Inu. In terms of hodling, guys, if I was you, again, not financial advice, you can still add more to your bags as where we currently are, because it doesn't matter too much in terms of how much would you be losing on a day, because your aim is to literally buy as many coins, and once we go for that moonshot, that's how you make your bags. So don't worry too much about precisely when to enter. As long as we're falling down, keep on adding to your bags, and that way you should reap the rewards, and you are cock-a-doodling your way, hopefully, to the farm. To the moon. Either way, guys, we can still make tons with Cox Inu. I still reckon this will make tons of money for everyone. Anyone who's interested in Cox Inu. And just remember, once Cox Inu seriously start blasting, anyone who's doubtful with Black Cox Inu, well, they'll be missing out, because Black Cox Inu would also be rising like a phoenix. So why don't we get into the last token? Right guys, before we head over to the final coin, I would just like to bring to your attention that you can also jump into my Patreon, as I have 3 different memberships that you can choose from. Become a friends shout out, where you pay £1.50 to join, and that way you get a shout out per every video. Otherwise, if you join on a Total Crypto family, you gain all these perks and get early access to my videos before it goes live. Or interested in trading, I've actually got a trading coaching program for you right over here, which only costs £17 US dollars. It's around about $19 or $20, and that way I can show you exactly how to trade on a demo account. That way we can build up your confidence, find out your trading strategies and your appetite, and that way I could help you to become more profitable on a demo account before we go on to a live account. So hopefully you find this useful and informative. If you've got any questions about any of these guys, just let me know in the comments, or otherwise I'll see you over at the Patreon token. So let's get back to which is Bonk. Currently Bonk is still heading sideways. However, we are seeing a sign of life. Reason why I say that, because look, we did see a engulfing green candle that's bigger than the last red candle, and currently the candle after the green one is actually a smaller red candle, but check out this green candle just formed right now. This green candle can still become red candle, but as long as we see this green candle becoming bigger than this red candle, that should give us a confirmation, at least for the short term, that we should be heading our way to the upside, or at least break up above this level up here. So if you're an intraday trader, this will be, and still, not a bad move. You could be looking at anywhere between 20% or even 19%, depending on what exchange you're from. I'm currently using the database from Bcoq. This would be a quite, decent trade, especially if you're leveraging. 2x leverage that will give you 40. 3x that will give you 60. So you can see the power of leverage. But once again, you got to be careful. Make sure you put in a stop loss in case, if we do flip bearish. But at least for the short term, this does look a bit more on the bullish side than bearish. And ultimately, what I'd like to see from Bonk is to clear this area and to retest this zone over here. Because once we do retest this zone, then we should be at least going back up to its last all-time high, and then get ourselves into the discovery phase and continue to bonk our way up to the moon. So for a move between where we're currently at to the top of that larger rectangle box, that's about 46% move to the upside, and we're not too far off from the all-time high. I'm measuring from the body of the candle, not so much of the wick, of around about 61% behind from its all-time high. This is so doable, and it's still extremely bullish if you ask me, guys, because since we've broken down below from its all-time high, we've been in this ranging phase. So this ranging accumulation area is actually really great. It means a lot of people still holding on to Bonk coin and accumulating a lot along the way, and we have not yet come back down to anywhere to this zone over here. So yes, that is extremely bullish right now for Bonk coin. So let me know, guys, have you been watching my last video? And if you have, which coins are you holding? Which one are you hodling? Which one are you trading? And are you bullish on any of these coins? So guys, why don't you give me a like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification. That way you'll be able to get my channel growing, which is absolutely fantastic. And if you haven't done so already, you can check my last two videos here and here, and I'll see you all in the next one.